Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, and if it is your first time seeing me, then my name is Lucifer. In this channel I share about the crime-related cases and movies that I find intriguing and horrifying. Today on Horror Stories we will discuss the mysterious and brutal case of a boy in the box. On February 25, 1957, a teenage boy named Fred, who was a college student and was walking through the dumping site near Susquehanna Road, Philadelphia, checking his traps for rabbit. He then found the cardboard box with a boy inside it and informed the authorities. It was snowing outside when the police got to the site. Police saw the body and were completely horrified. He was about 4 or 5 years old, weighed 30 pounds and was 3'3" in length. His growth was stunted because of malnutrition. People thought he was a doll, as he was so shrunken that all his bones were visible. He was placed in a box that barely fit him. His limbs were bent to contain him inside the box by the unknown person. His naked body wrapped around on a thin plaid blanket inside the cardboard box with his clothes scattered around the side of Susquehanna Road. Police found a handkerchief with a letter G written on it and a hat and a scarf as evidence. These were only the clues that could be used to identify the boy. The trauma to his head was the official cause of his death, but there were signs of drowning on his body. The boy's body showed signs of physical abuse like extensive beating, but also had signs that he was properly groomed, as his fingernails were clean and his hair was freshly cut and his body was recently washed too. This case grabbed entire country's attention, and the shocking details ran chills through the people's spine. The mysterious case took a turn when the teenager confessed that he informed the police only a day after discovering the body, and another man who found the body prior to Fred, but didn't inform the police as he didn't want to get in trouble. A single arm with nothing but just bones was seen protruding from the box. Fred grew curious and he opened the box. His body had surgical marks on his knee, L-shaped under his chin and groin area. The body also showed the evidence of medical procedure performed on it, but there were no witnesses. There are no leading clues. The time of the death was difficult to estimate, as there was continuous snowfall in the area. Police distributed more than thousands of flyers to the police stations, gas bills, public spaces all around the country, but it led to nowhere. People from more than 10 states tried identifying the body to get any clue about the boy's identity. By running his dental records, his fingerprints, they tried identifying him, but he was completely off the grid, which was quite unusual and shocking. The cardboard box had a serial number that allowed the detectives to trace it back to J.C. Penney, which 15 miles away from the site, and was later found that the box had a bassinet in it. The company sold around 12 bassinets, but all the purchasers bought them on cash, so police had no record about the buyers. After listening to the news, a buyer contacted the police and stated that he still had his box with him and still uses it to collect the trash. The boxes were shipped from the shop, and police even found that one of the boxes was shipped to a place near Pennsylvania where the boy in the box was found. Philadelphia Textile Institute examined the blanket, and it was found to be manufactured either in Granby, Quebec in Canada, or Swannanoa, North Carolina. It was nearly impossible to trace the blanket, as thousands of blankets were sold each day. Another clue was a blue hat found near the box, and it was made in South Philadelphia. The owner of Hat Manufacturing Company remembers a man 25 or 30 years in age, and he especially requested a leather strap and buckle be added to it. He paid in cash. The boy's body had hair's clumps and was cut in haste, and forensic experts believe that the boy was raised as a girl. There are many theories to explain his death, but only 2 of them caught police's attention, and both were exclusively investigated. The first is about a foster home located about 2.5 kilometers away from the area where the boy was found. In 1960, a medical examiner named R. Bristow contacted a New Jersey psychic who advised him to look for a house with many kids of different ages, like a foster home. During his investigation, he found a foster home. He also found a bassinet similar to the one from J.C. Penney. He even found similar blankets and believed that the boy was the kid of the stepdaughter of the foster home's father. He did it because the kid was out of a wedlock, and theorized the boy died from an accident, but the police couldn't link the case to foster home. Later, the Philadelphia police in 1998 even interviewed the stepdaughter and the foster father. The investigation about foster home was concluded with no proper evidence. The second one is the woman known as Martha or M. Another theory was put forward in 2002 February by a woman named Martha. Her story was believable, but her testimony was not considered valid as she had history of mental illness. She said that her mother was abusive and bought the boy from his birth parents. He was always subjected to beating for his minor mistakes, and sometimes even without any mistakes. The boy was also sexually abused for 2.5 years. On day during the dinner, the boy threw up while eating baked beans and was beaten. His head was slammed against the floor and he became somewhat unconscious. Her mother gave him a bath during which he almost drowned and took his last breath. These details were even cross-examined by the police. Police even found baked beans in his stomach contents, and his fingers were wrinkled from the water. She even mentioned that her mother cut his hair in distinctive patterns so that people won't recognize him and trace him back to them. She even said that her mother forced her to assist her in dumping the body of the boy in Fox Chase area. While they were trying to drag the body from the car's trunk, a guy on a motorcycle pulled near them and asked them if they needed any help. Martha said that she blocked the number plate from the motorist. Her mother assured the biker that everything was fine and the motorist took off. In 1957, a guy gave a testimony familiar to the story, but he wanted it to be confidential. Despite Martha's confession, police couldn't verify her story, as her neighbors said that the house never had a young boy and claimed that her words were completely absurd. The boy was given a proper burial at Potter's Field. In 1998, police exhumed his body to extract the DNA from his tooth's enamel and was reburied at Ivy Hill Cemetery. But the very sad thing is his headstone still reads America's Unknown Child and not his real name. This case is quite disheartening. No one deserves this kind of death. The people who did this are still free. May his soul rest in peace. Even after more than 60 years, the boy is still unknown and this case is still unsolved. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more contents like this. Thank you.